What's up, CrossFit Linchpin? So, we're going to do the gym tour, the garage tour. I've had a few requests to see what Linchpin HQ looks like. It's very humble, but it's very effective. And so I'll just walk through and we'll see what we've got. Now, bear in mind, I've got a lot of junk packed in here. And some of this stuff costs a pretty penny. So, but also bear in mind, I've been doing CrossFit for 15 years, and I didn't buy it all at once. I just slowly piecemealed it together, piece by piece over the years. And so now when I look around, I'm like, holy cow, that's a lot of stuff. But it started very slow, just one piece at a time, and you can do the exact same thing if need be. We've got a 3-car garage here, but I have all the workout stuff basically crammed into what would be 1.5 cars. So if you had a 2-car garage, you could definitely do this. And if you had a 1-car garage and you're creative, you could certainly do it in a 1-car garage, no problem. And I've probably got a couple of things that you don't need. So with no further ado, first thing is the squat rack, which has a bunch of shoes behind it. So let's turn around here. All right, there's the squat rack with all the shoes from the kids that they've probably outgrown and I need to throw away. But I'm not sure which squat rack this is. I'll tell you right now. Rogue Monster Light. And it's also got this cool deal here, which is a pull-up bar, and it's got these 2 huge safety rack things there. So what I like about that is it's got wheels on it, so I can just roll it out, pull a car out, squat. I can put those safety bars on, which are bomb-proof, and then I can squat, as heavy as I want with no fear of pinning myself under the bar, because those things, if set up properly, will certainly hold more weight than I ever intend to squat. And then that little adjustable pull-up bar is just super cool for the kids. They want to get in a workout, I can put that pull-up bar whatever height that I want, and they can do pull-ups, they can do bar muscle-ups, they can do anything that they want. So it's a very useful piece of kit. All right, continuing, let's go. All right, we head over here, you get your simple, just flat bench, which I use for bench press and step-ups every now and then, easy day. But now we'll start to get into the crux of all this stuff here. I've got the pull-up bar bolted to the wall. I'm not sure which one that is, but it's one of the Rogue deals as well. My wife can do bar muscle-ups in here, not hit her head. I can't do bar muscle-ups in here, but that's fine. I just do plenty of scales. And then I've got, a set of rings that I hang from the pull-up bar, and those just stay on the pull-up bar. And I use those for ring rows, ring dips, low ring muscle-ups all the time. I do those a ton. And they just stay there. Obviously, I could transfer one set of rings from one to another, but over the years, I just accumulated 2 sets of rings, and it's far easier. Because the other thing, this other set of rings is actually just being stowed right there. But it's attached to one of those ceiling-mounted, whatever you would call them, ring strap holder ceiling deals. And that works really well. And once again, my wife can do ring muscle-ups in here. I'm not the world's tallest guy, I'm only 5'8", but it's still a little tight for me. So she basically does those there, and I embrace the low ring muscle-ups. But I can also put those down if we're doing a workout that needs 2 stations of low ring muscle-ups or 2 stations of ring dips or ring rows. So it works out really well. And, okay, heading over to the rack. So this utility rack thing is just something I bought at Home Depot, some big old bomb-proof Home Depot thing. And I've got the soft Rogue plyo boxes there, which it looks like I'm missing one. Where the heck is the other one? That's confusing. I don't know where the other one is. Anyway, got the Rogue plyo boxes there. Those things are spendy, but they're awesome. I'm not gonna lie, they're fantastic. And then I've just got your assortment of jump ropes that I've acquired, from large miserable ones that RX Smart Gear were very kind to send me to, ones I've acquired over the years. Parallettes, some lifting shoes, one of these deals to mark off, Drake, I see you, brother, to mark off distances. The old military Alice pack rucksack for when I do just a ruck walk. 2 sleds, because why would you just have one? 2 is, gotta have 2. The ab mat, some more ropes, knee sleeves, another ab mat, chalk, a bag for picking up dog poop from this guy right there. Bugsy. Looking at you, buddy. Looking at you, buddy. Weight belt, got a dancing boots, and then the old dumbbells. Everything from a little pair of 5s we can help use with the kids to 25s, 35s, 45s, 50s, and there's a pair of 65s tucked back there. We've also got a few of the 511 weight vests with the men's and women's plates in there, and then under there's 3 of these sandbags tucked in there. The little one weighs, I want to say the little one weighs about 40 pounds or so, and then there's the middle one's about 80. The big one weighs like 135 pounds, and it's absolutely horrifically miserable. It's terrible. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, so that's that. Got some beautiful artwork from our young man when he was in kindergarten. Texas Tail, it looks like the 65s are easily accessible for lots of use. Totally true. They're the 65s right there, and they don't get that much use. I'm not going to lie to you. The only thing I really break them out for every now and then is walking lunges for like accessory work. Or like a bent over row. There's a pull-up bar over the door. Works like a champ, so kind of doubles our pull-up bar stuff. Garage heater. An absolute lifesaver up here in the Pacific Northwest. My little modest dry erase board. That's all I need. So today's workout was not for time. 15 rounds, not for time. 10 burpees, 1 rope climb. I don't have a rope to climb in here, at least not hanging from the ceiling. So instead of each rope climb, I did 3 strict pull-ups, 3 strict knees to elbows. So I got in 150 burpees, 45 strict pull-ups, and 45 strict knees to elbows. And we've been doing 1 workout a week. I've been posting it not for time, just as a way to decompress both physically and mentally, to get in some good volume, but without the pressure of the clock, to hopefully keep working out fun, and we'll all still get fit. By the end of the year, if you do that once a week, you'll have got in 52 workouts that weren't for time, and you'll be just fine. All right, so let's see. We've got this death machine right here, the Concept 2 bike. That thing, it just hurts in a different way than the Assault bike or the Echo bike does. It's just a wonderful and miserable piece of kit all at once. Of course, we've got the gym timer, fantastic. And then I've got this rack that is wonderful. I do have a rope here, and I basically put that on the floor every now and then to keep a barbell from rolling. And I do hang that every now and then over the pull-up bar, and I can lower myself down, pull myself back up. But we've got a few medicine balls up there, a whole bunch of just various plates that have accumulated over the year. Everything from these things to the old school Craigbergs, when that's all that you could get, to now some absolutely beautiful competition stuff, but everything's good. They all do the job wonderfully. And then I've got these D-balls. Got a 150, a 100, and an 80. And on a total side note, this is what I do, I get distracted. One of my favorite workouts when time is short, I just got to bop into the gym, get something in, and get out of there, is 21-15-9 calories on the bike, and then the 100-pound D-ball ground to shoulder. It's fantastic, does the trick, works every time. Okay, here we go. Then sandbags. So we've got a 100, a 150, that I can get over my shoulder, a 200, which I can pick up and walk around and do some front squats with, and I've got it over my shoulder once or twice in my life and almost blacked out. And then this is 250 pounds, and it basically might as well be a boat anchor. It just stays there to prevent the rack from moving in case that there's an earthquake. Got some miscellaneous little bumper plates for the boys, their OSO stuff. Some other just miscellaneous bumpers. Again, I've accumulated a lot of bumpers over the years. And then those are the uprights for the Prowler. So, okay, decent amount of stuff there. And then, we've got just your Rogue folded up gymnastics mat, which is great. Kids love to play on it. We use it every now and then. And then just one of these, Dolomer mats as well, which is super handy. I did the burpees on that today. All right, I have one of these vertical bar holders, which is a great space saver in the gym. And again, just accumulated a bunch of bars over the years. Axle bars all the way in the rear, so you can tell how often that gets used. Got the little kids barbell, and got some men's and women's bars. But this one, the short one here, is a men's bar, but it's that Rogue competition bar that's just short, and it weighs 35 pounds. And I think it can hold like 400 pounds or something like that. So I use it for snatching, obviously, when I squat snatch 400, 405. But it's great in the garage. Doesn't take up a lot of room, holds a ton of weight, easy day, fantastic. And that vertical bar holder is a lifesaver. Assortment of kettlebells. And then, the reverse hyper. Reverse hyper, you can see, is being used as a table. I've got miscellaneous stuff on there. But here's why, and this is just 100% me personally. We have a reverse hyper also at CrossFit HQ, and every time that I'm there, I use it, and I love it. But this is, again, personal preference. We have a different foot attachment there, and I don't like the foot attachment that I have here. I like the one at HQ. So the one I have here, how are you doing, buddy? The one I have here is this strap, and I don't know, it doesn't work well for me, just personally. The one we have at HQ is, it almost looks, it's not exactly like this, but it looks more like this. 2 sets of pads and a bar, and the pads are foam, and you stick your feet between there, and that's how you use it, and that treats me really well. So I love the reverse hyper, but what I need to do is get that other foot attachment here in my garage, and I can stop using this as a table and use it as a reverse hyper. I will also say what I do use this thing for is it's a great height. I will take the 200-pound bag and just go from ground, pick it up, load it on the table, flop it down, pick it up, load it on the table, put it down. So that works well for that. Got the children's basketball, and their scooters, of course, and then we've got a GHD. I'm not sure which GHD this is, but if there was a nuclear war, that GHD would survive. It's absolutely bomb-proof. The GHD, again, personal opinion, it's huge. It takes up a lot of space. It is not inexpensive. However, you will give it to your great-grandkids. Like I said, it will last forever. I personally, if space allowed and budget allowed, I would prioritize the GHD rather high. I absolutely adore the hip and back extension. Just moving flexion extension of your spines and hip under no load. I do them at least 3 times a week, and I give a ton of credit for having a strong, healthy back to obviously not only deadlifting and everything else that we do, but that GHD. I'm a huge GHD advocate. Camouflaged in the GHD is about the only place I could find to put this yoke. So I've got the yoke around there. And it gets broken out every now and then. And then attached to the yoke, hidden also, is a Prowler, a butcher is attached in there. Also I've got some bands, and it's all good to go. So that's a 1-car garage door, and I've got 2 rowers right there that have accumulated over the years. That first rower is so old I can't even believe it, and it still works like a champ. And I got another rower. And this is all kind of fit into that 1-car garage space, other than the squat rack. And then I have the assault bike right here. And that stays there, and I just have to move it if my wife is going to do muscle-ups there on the rings. But other than that, I think you've got a pretty good idea of what I've got in here and how I have it laid out, how I've chosen to use my space. And that's that. And then over there is the squat rack. So let's see. Saw a question here. How do you feel about the Rogue Echo GHD straps onto the box? I know exactly what you're talking about. Phil Hugh BRD. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I have never used one in my entire life, so I'm not sure. I'd have to read the reviews. But I haven't heard anything bad about them, but I can't speak on them as well. Let's see, I think I missed another question. Let me do some scrolling here. Somebody called the Concept 2 Bike Erg the Death Erg. I would tend to agree with that. Okay, the 65s, let's see. Okay, yep, the ceiling mounted ring thingy. Okay, here we go. PJ Wallace 13. Do you think a yoke would be a better option or no? Just curious because of the other stuff you can do with the yoke. Oh, I think you must mean, would I rather have a yoke instead of the squat rack? Potentially, yeah, potentially you could. I think it would just depend on how high your yoke. I think you'd have to get a very tall yoke. And what I mean by that is, if you can see, okay, on the yoke here, again, I'm not the world's tallest guy. My head goes to about here. So even if I had this thing all the way up to keep it braced, and then I put the J-hooks on to squat, there could be a little bit of ducking under the thing, but they do make a taller yoke. So maybe, PJ Wallace 13, if you went with the taller yoke, that might be a good alternative. If you had just one piece of gear, you had the ceiling height, you had all that good stuff. So yeah, that could work. Okay, let's see what else I missed down here. David Bryce, 1985. Any recommendations for the straps rubbing arms raw from ring muscle-ups? No, sir, I do not. I'm sorry. What's in the fridge? We've got probably a quarter of a cow left from, we got a half a cow a while ago, and we're making our way through that. And then in full disclosure, what else is in there? I think a box of Lego My Eggo waffles that the kids enjoy. Let's see. Robert Travis, 33. Why no stall mats? I do get that question a lot. I don't know. I just don't have them. I don't live in an apartment, so I don't necessarily have to worry about the noise, dropping barbells and whatnot. And I've been dropping barbells on concrete for years, and barbells are fine, the bumpers are fine. And so the stall mats just seemed like an extra expense that wasn't utterly and completely necessary. Don't get me wrong, they're wonderful, but not necessary. So I just spent my money in other places, and when I need to, I just roll out that little mat, do my burpees on the mat, and I'm good to go. Let's see. Pontus Jansen. If all equipment you currently have is the minimum for limited equipment, what would be your next investment given space is a limiting factor? So, if all equipment you currently have is the minimum for limited equipment. So no, this is not the minimum for limited equipment. For the limited equipment option, for the private track, you can get everything you need for under $400, which is, you can spend $400 on one barbell and no plates. So spending $400 on gear is really low to be done and set with your gear. So the minimum you need for the limited equipment option is a pull-up bar. You can either get that one or get that one. Either one will do. You need a set of gymnastics rings, and they just hang from the pull-up bar. You don't have to mount them from the ceiling. They just hang from the pull-up bar. You get yourself one jump rope and one set of dumbbells. So that's it. Pull-up bar, set of rings hanging from the pull-up bar, a jump rope, and a pair of dumbbells. That's everything you need every single day to do the limited equipment option on the private track, which, by the way, we just hooked it up with Beyond the Whiteboard. And now, if you go to either the link in the bio of our Instagram handle, or you go to CrossFitLinchpin.com, click on private track, scroll down and click the sign up box, you can sign up, go through the process, and get a 14-day free trial. Everything through the Beyond the Whiteboard app. I mean, the entire kit and caboodle. And if you love it, think you will, stay. If you don't like it, you just cancel before 14 days. Credit card doesn't get charged, and you're solid. If you love it, it's $10 a month. So pretty cool. 14-day free trial. Hope people check it out. And let's see. One more. Okay. I have an old Airdyne. It doesn't track calories. Any idea of converting calories to distance? I do. I have got a chart. I've got a chart to convert some calories to distance as well. But it is, everything is just a rough ballpark guess. The Concept 2 bike accumulates calories a little bit different than the Assault bike. The Assault bike accumulates calories a little bit different than the Rogue Echo bike. The Schwinn Airdyne accumulates calories just a little bit different. So, you put out one figure and someone's like, my bike does a little bit different. That's true because it's just an estimate. But we do have some, I would say for a lot of people, like in a workout, if you're doing, and I'm using an Assault bike here, at a pace of exertion that people would run a 400 in a multiple round workout, that would be about 25 calories at that roughly same exertion level on something like the Assault bike. It would probably be a little bit more calorie-wise on an older style Schwinn Airdyne. You may even have to take those calories and multiply them by 1.5 potentially to get you around there. So that's it. Let's see. Evan D. Wright, Concept 2 bike erg or Rogue Echo bike. Ooh, they're both awesome, but they're different. They're just different. The Rogue Echo bike has the arms involved as well. The Concept 2, I swear that thing just turns my quads into absolute concrete. But gun to my head, if I had to get one, I'd get the Rogue Echo bike if I had to get one. The ideal setup for me would be to have a Rogue Echo bike and a Concept 2 rower. I mean, you would be absolutely set. So that's it. That's the garage tour. I'm going to go find my dog, who used to be in the garage and is now no longer in the garage. So that's it. Enjoy, everybody, and we will talk again later.